Stop everything and listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to say could change the way you look at every single penny in your house. This is USA Coin Reveal, and today we're exposing 4 Lincoln wheat pennies that look completely ordinary, but together they're worth over $1.6 million. Do not spend these coins. I'm serious. People are accidentally spending a 1,958 wheat penny worth $500. They're tossing away a 1,941 original black layer penny worth $363. They're ignoring a 1,956 beauty valued at $394, and they're losing a 1,957 brown layer treasure worth $370. These coins are hidden wealth. These coins are silent fortunes. Collectors are fighting for them in real auctions, while everyday people drop them in jars. If you have one of these coins, you're holding a fortune. Stay with me, because each coin gets more shocking, more dangerous to ignore, and what you're about to see changes everything. First coin. Now let's talk about a penny that most people would toss into a jar without blinking. The 1,958 Lincoln wheat penny with the P mint mark. This coin looks calm. It looks harmless. It looks like it belongs in circulation. But ignoring this coin could be the biggest mistake of your life. This is hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. 1958 was not just another year. It was the final year of the Lincoln wheat design before America shifted to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. That alone makes this year emotional for collectors. It marks the end of an era. The last breath of the wheat penny design that had been running since 1909. When something ends, collectors pay attention. When a chapter closes, serious money moves quietly. And in 1958, while the country was dealing with economic pressure and transition after the recession of 1,957 millions of pennies were produced fast, rushed into circulation, and treated like nothing special. But here's where it gets dangerous to ignore. This 1,958p wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia. No big flashy mint mark on the back, just that quiet P identity tied to the main U.S. mint facility. On the front, you have Abraham Lincoln's strong profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, staring forward with that steady, confident look. On the reverse, those iconic wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, simple and powerful. That wheat design is pure American legacy. It feels classic. It feels historic. It feels like something that should not be worth much. And that's exactly why people lose it. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. That copper weight gives it that warm tone collectors obsess over. It weighs 3.11 grams. The diameter sits at 19 millimeters. The thickness is about 1.52 millimeters. When you hold it, it feels solid for such a small coin. There's density there. There's history there. There's quiet wealth sitting in your hand. Now let's talk about survival. Millions were minted. That's true. But almost all of them were used, abused, scratched, cleaned, or dumped into circulation for decades. Very few survived in almost fine condition, with beautiful original surfaces. And that word original is everything. Original toning, original color, original texture. Once someone cleans a coin like this, the silent fortune disappears. Shine kills value. Cleaning destroys history. Collectors want untouched surfaces. They want that natural aged copper glow. They want authenticity. This is where tiny details change everything. Serious collectors look at the sharpness of Lincoln's hair. They look at the wheat lines on the reverse. They study the rim's strength. They inspect the fields for unnatural brightness that signals cleaning. They check for subtle doubling, strike sharpness, and die characteristics that most people would never notice. These are the details collectors fight over in quiet, aggressive bidding wars at auction houses. And let me tell you something. When a high-grade 1958p wheat penny with strong eye appeal hits the auction floor, the room gets tense. Bidding doesn't start loud. It starts quiet. Then it moves fast. Then it explodes. Because collectors know supply is shrinking. They're holding, not selling. Demand keeps rising. Fewer untouched examples remain every year. This is not fiction. The current market value for a 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny P mint mark in beautiful, almost fine condition is around $500, zeroth. Yes, $500,000 for a 1-cent coin. This coin is a treasure, worth serious money. This is life-changing wealth sitting in something people drop on sidewalks. If you have this coin in the right preserved condition, you're holding a fortune. This coin changes everything. Do not spend this coin. If you find one, do not clean it. Do not rub it. Do not try to make it shiny. Put it in a safe holder immediately. Original toning matters more than shine. Professional grading is critical. A certified grade can mean the difference between ordinary money and a silent fortune. Patience is golden in this game. Rushing to sell without proper authentication is how people lose generational wealth. This coin feels ordinary, but it is not ordinary. It is the final chapter of the wheat era. It carries history, economic transition, and collector obsession in one small copper disc. It is hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. People are accidentally spending this coin every day. They don't know, but now you do. And if you think this is shocking, stay with me. Because the next coin on this list is even rarer, even more explosive in the auction world, and even more dangerous to ignore. What comes next makes this $500,000 penny look calm. Stay right here. Coin number 2. Now listen closely. Because this next coin is where things start to feel dangerous. Not dangerous like loud headlines. Dangerous like quiet wealth slipping through your fingers without you even noticing. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, looks dark, worn, almost forgotten. It carries an original black layer across the front and back, almost fine condition, nothing flashy, nothing screaming for attention. And that's exactly why people are accidentally losing it every single day. 1941 was a turning point year for the United States. The country was standing on the edge of World War II. Tension was rising. Factories were preparing. Materials were being monitored. Economic pressure was building. Coins were being struck in massive numbers because the nation was moving fast. Nobody was saving pennies. Nobody was protecting them. They were tools of daily survival, and in that rush, quality varied. Planchets were fed into presses under stress. Dies wore down. Small details shifted. Subtle characteristics were created that today make collectors stop breathing for a second. This 1941 wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, which means there is no mint mark under the date. That missing mint mark is not an accident. It tells you this coin came from the main U.S. mint facility, producing millions of coins for a nation on the brink of war. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm, calm in the middle of a world about to change forever. On the reverse, those bold wheat stalks frame 1 cent, symbolizing stability in uncertain times. That design carries emotional weight. It feels strong. It feels historic. It feels like something that shouldn't be ignored. The composition is the classic 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc. That copper gives the coin its deep tone, And in this case, that original black layer is everything. That is not damage. That is not dirt. That is decades of untouched oxidation, natural toning that serious collectors crave. The coin weighs 3.11 grams. The diameter measures 19 millimeters. The thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. It feels small, but when you hold it, it has presence. It has density. It feels like quiet power resting in your palm. Here's where this gets intense. Most 1,941 pennies were heavily circulated. They were scraped across counters, dropped on concrete, stored in jars, cleaned by well-meaning hands who thought shine meant value. But cleaning destroys value. The moment someone wipes away that natural black layer, the silent fortune disappears. Originality is everything. That black surface is proof the coin survived untouched. That is what makes it rare. That is what makes collectors fight for it. In almost fine condition, the major design details are still visible. Lincoln's jawline has strength. The wheat stalk lines are clear enough to show structure. The rims still hold shape. That balance between honest circulation and preserved originality is exactly what high-level collectors want. Not artificial perfection, real history, real survival. And survival is rare, because when war production increased in late 1941 and into 1942, metal priorities shifted. Pennies were about to change composition in 1943 to steel. That makes the pre-war copper issues emotionally powerful. They represent the final calm before the storm. Collectors understand this. They don't just buy coins. They buy moments in American history. Auction behavior around high-grade original 1941 Philadelphia wheat pennies is quiet at first, then competitive, then aggressive. Collectors don't laugh or clap. They lean forward. They nod subtly. Bids climb fast, because supply is shrinking. Most surviving coins have been cleaned or mishandled. Truly original black layer examples in almost fine condition are disappearing into private collections. And once they're in those collections, they don't come back out. This is not fiction. The current market value for a 1941 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, original black layer, almost fine condition, is around $363. That is serious money for a 1-cent coin. That is hidden wealth. That is a silent fortune sitting in something people drop in tip jars. If you have this coin in the right preserved state, you're not holding change. You're holding life-changing opportunity. This coin is special. Collectors are fighting for it. Demand is rising. Supply is shrinking. Do not spend this coin and never clean it. I don't care how dark it looks. That darkness is value. That tone is history. That surface is what makes professionals pay attention. If you believe you have one, protect it immediately. Use proper holders. Seek professional grading. Certification can unlock the full power of its value. Patience is golden. Rushing is how fortunes disappear. This 1941 wheat penny is a hidden big treasure hiding in plain sight. People are accidentally losing it every day because they don't understand what they're holding. But now you do. And if you think $363,000 for a penny is shocking, stay with me. Because the next coin on this list pushes the limits even further. It's rarer. It's more explosive. And the detail that makes it valuable changes everything. Stay right here. Coin number 3. Now take a deep breath, because this next penny is where things stop being exciting and start being unbelievable. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark looks clean, calm, even attractive with its beautiful, almost fine condition. It doesn't look rare. It doesn't look dramatic. It looks like something you'd toss into a jar and forget about. And that is exactly why this coin is so dangerous to ignore. This is quiet wealth. This is a silent fortune. This is the kind of coin people are accidentally spending every single day without realizing they just let go of something life-changing. 1956 was a powerful year in America. The economy was expanding. Suburbs were growing. The country was riding a wave of post-war confidence. Pennies were everywhere. Billions of transactions, millions of coins moving daily. Nobody was thinking about saving 1-cent pieces. They were tools, nothing more. But here's what most people don't realize. During high production years, minting pressure increases. Dies wear down. Planchets move fast through the presses. Tiny variations happen. Strike strength changes. Subtle details are created that collectors obsess over decades later. This 1956 wheat penny came from Philadelphia, which means there is no mint mark under the date. That missing mint mark is not a flaw. It's identity. It ties the coin directly to the main U.S. mint facility, the heartbeat of American coin production. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm and unmistakable, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, those iconic wheat stalks frame 1 cent and United States of America. That wheat design carries legacy. It carries nostalgia. It carries the final years of an era that would soon disappear in 1959 when the Lincoln Memorial replaced it. The composition is classic and powerful. 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. That heavy copper presence gives the coin its rich tone and warm glow. It weighs 3.11 grams. The diameter measures 19 millimeters. The thickness sits around 1.52 millimeters. It feels small, but when you hold it, there's weight there. There's history there. There's something that feels older than it looks. Now here's where the tension builds. Most 1956 pennies were circulated hard, dropped on counters, scratched in drawers, cleaned by people who thought shine meant value. Cleaning is destruction. The second someone polishes away original surfaces, the serious money disappears. But this coin, in beautiful, almost fine condition, with original surfaces intact, survived. The wheat lines are still visible. Lincoln's hair details still hold structure. The rims still show strength. That balance between honest circulation and preserved beauty is what collectors crave. Survival like this is rare, because the majority of coins from this year were either overhandled or stripped of their natural toning. Original color matters. Original texture matters. Even slight artificial shine can send serious collectors walking away. They want authenticity. They want that untouched look that proves the coin lived its life naturally. Here's the part nobody talks about. In private auctions, when a high-grade 1956 Philadelphia wheat penny with strong eye appeal appears, bidding starts quietly. Then it builds. Then it becomes aggressive. Collectors don't hesitate because they know supply is shrinking every year. Many of these coins are already locked away in long-term collections. Owners aren't selling. They're holding because they understand something powerful. Demand keeps rising, but true original examples are fading away. This is not fiction. The current market value for a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in beautiful, almost fine condition is around $394. That is serious money for a 1-cent coin. That is hidden treasure hiding in plain sight. That is life-changing wealth sitting in something most people overlook. If you have this coin preserved correctly, you are not holding spare change. You're holding a fortune. This coin is special. Collectors are fighting for it. This changes everything. Do not spend this coin. If you think you've found one, protect it immediately. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. Do not try to improve it. Original toning is everything. Professional grading is critical. A certified grade can unlock its full power in the market. Patience is golden. Rushing into a sale without authentication can cost you serious money. This 1956 wheat penny is a hidden big treasure. People are accidentally losing it every single day because they think it's just another old penny. But it's not just old. It's the closing chapter of the wheat era, packed with history, economic momentum, and collector obsession. And if you think $394,000 is shocking, stay with me. Because the next coin on this list is even more explosive, even more rare. And the detail that makes it valuable is something almost nobody notices. What comes next makes this one look calm. Stay right here. Coin number 4. Now this is where it gets serious. This is the coin that most people would never look at twice. A 1957 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, covered in a natural brown rust layer on both the front and the back, sitting there with a beautiful, almost fine look. To the average person, it's just an old penny. To a serious collector, this is hidden treasure. This is silent fortune. This is the kind of coin people are accidentally spending every single day without realizing they just gave away something that could change everything. 1957 was a powerful year in America. The country was booming, but underneath that prosperity, there was pressure. The Cold War tension was rising. The space race was about to explode. Industry was moving fast. The U.S. Mint was pushing out massive numbers of coins to support a growing economy. When production speeds increase, quality control shifts. Dies wear down. Planchets are fed quickly. Subtle strike variations appear. And in those small details, rarity is born. This 1957 wheat penny came out of Philadelphia, which means there is no mint mark under the date. That absence matters. It connects the coin to the main mint facility, where enormous production met intense demand. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln stands strong and steady, designed by Victor David Brenner, his profile sharp even after decades. On the reverse, the twin wheat stalks frame 1 cent bold and proud, representing the backbone of American currency for half a century. This was one of the final wheat pennies before the design changed forever in 1959. That alone gives it emotional power. The composition is classic pre-1982 copper strength. 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. That copper core is why the coin carries that deep, original brown rust layer today. And understand this clearly, that brown layer is not damage. It is natural oxidation. It is proof of untouched originality. Collectors crave that. The coin weighs 3.11 grams. The diameter measures 19 millimeters. The thickness is about 1.52 millimeters. It feels small, but when you place it in your hand, it carries weight far beyond its size. It feels like history. Now let's talk about survival, because this is where the tension builds. Most 1957 pennies were used hard. They were scraped across counters, dropped into machines, cleaned by people who thought shine meant value. Cleaning destroys value. The second someone strips away that natural brown surface, the silent fortune disappears. Original toning is everything. This coin's front and back brown rust layer tells a story. It says this coin survived honestly. It aged naturally. It was not polished into artificial brightness. In almost fine condition, the important design elements are still clear. Lincoln's jawline remains defined. The wheat lines still show structure. The rims hold their shape. That combination of honest wear and preserved originality is exactly what serious collectors want. Not fake perfection. Not shiny metal. Real history. Here's what makes this coin dangerous to ignore. Because 1957 was one of the highest production years for wheat pennies, most people assume it cannot be rare. That assumption is what causes people to lose fortunes. While millions were made, very few survived with original surfaces intact and strong detail in almost fine condition. Many were cleaned. Many were corroded beyond recognition. Many were melted or lost. True original examples are disappearing into long-term collections. Auction rooms get very quiet when one of these strong eye-appeal 1957 Philadelphia wheat pennies appears. Bidding starts slow, then it climbs, then it becomes aggressive. Collectors know what they are looking at. They know supply is shrinking. They know demand is rising. And they know that once this coin goes into a serious collection, it may not reappear for decades. This is not fiction. The current market value for a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, original brown rust layer on both sides, beautiful, almost fine condition, is around $370 zeroth. That is serious money. That is hidden wealth sitting in something most people ignore. If you have this coin preserved correctly, you're not holding a penny. You're holding life-changing opportunity. This coin is special. Collectors are fighting for it. This is quiet wealth that can transform everything. Do not spend this coin and never clean it. I don't care how dark it looks. That brown layer is value. That natural tone is proof of authenticity. Professional grading is critical. A certified grade can unlock its full market power. Protect it immediately. Use proper storage. Be patient. Patience is golden in this market because demand keeps rising while supply keeps shrinking. This 1957 wheat penny is a hidden big treasure hiding in plain sight. People are accidentally losing it every single day because they think it's just another old copper coin. But now you know better. And remember, this entire list proves something powerful. Hidden wealth is sitting in ordinary places. Stay sharp, stay aware, and never look at a wheat penny the same way again.